I'm here with the cheapest Volkswagen T-Roc you can buy. I have the keys to it, which also has a physical key in it. And for $36,990, I'm going to show you what you get and if it's actually worth buying compared to something like a Hyundai Kona or even a Mazda CX-50, or maybe you should just skip waiting for a Toyota Corolla Cross and get one of these instead. My name's Cameron. This is Product Review Cars. This is a base model. Let's get into it. Under here, you're getting a petrol turbocharged motor, which makes it a bit different from other cars in this category, which usually come with a naturally aspirated motor. And here's the thing, it has one of the widest torque bands available, meaning you'll get your peak torque at just 1500 RPM. For you non-car people, that means you don't have to press so hard on the throttle to be able to get moving as quickly as you would in, say, another car that doesn't have a turbocharger. Now, it doesn't really look like a base model from the outside. You're getting LED lights, you're getting lots of chrome, which I actually kind of like. You're also getting 17-inch alloy wheels and you're getting silver brake calipers, so it does look pretty good. You're getting a body-colored roof with contrasting black roof rails as standard, which I think, again, look good. And here's the thing, even though the key comes with a switchblade key, you actually don't have to use it at all. This has keyless locking and unlocking, and also it has keyless start as well, which again, is good for a base model. Here at the rear, you get that sloping roof line on the T-Roc, which actually makes it one of the better looking small SUVs you could buy. You get a T-Roc badge here, but here's how you open the boot. You obviously flip the Volkswagen badge like that, and it reveals one of the biggest boots in the segment, which is 445 litres. Now, underneath the boot floor, you actually have even more storage, and you do have a spare tyre, so you can move the boot floor a little bit lower to give yourself a bit more boot space. But if you want an even floor, you can leave it up like this. And here's what's even better. This has a 40-60 split, but then you do have a ski pass through in the middle, which many cars in this segment don't get. Again, making the most of a small SUV space, which I think is quite good. And again, good against its competitors. Now, the interior in here really doesn't feel like a base model at all. You have nice soft touch materials. You have this stitching look that goes across the top here. You do have this 8-inch touchscreen, which has everything you really need, but basically going to hook up your Apple CarPlay, which you do have to do via a wire using 2 USB-C ports up front, which is kind of annoying. I would have liked to have seen maybe wireless Apple CarPlay here, and yes, Android Auto as well. And you do get a basic digital cockpit here. It's not the pro ones you'll see on the higher end T-Rocs, but it's still a digital display, and it is a bit customizable, which is quite good. You do have a telescopically adjustable steering wheel, so it's easy to get comfortable. You do have these haptic sort of buttons here that you use for your climate controls. So you have some basic buttons up here, but basically there is a parking assist button. So yes, if you don't really feel confident parallel parking your T-Roc, it can do it for you pressing that button. You do have physical buttons here, and you do have paddle shifters as well. And you do have these manually adjusted cloth seats up front, which are thought have been pretty comfortable. So there's actually an okay amount of space back here. Even though the roof line goes down, I have plenty of headroom. I have good amounts of feet room, but my knee room's a little bit restricted behind my own driving position. I'm 5'11" back here, and I'm pretty comfortable, but I do feel like I am in a small SUV. I have 2 USB-C ports in the back. I have my own air vents. I have map pockets as well, and okay amounts of storage in the doors. I have a middle seat here, but there is a pretty large transmission and exhaust tunnel right here, so anyone copying the middle seat's really gonna have no feet room whatsoever. And you do have your own armrest with these sort of Lego pieces that come out, and these are just your adjustable cup holders, which is kind of cool. So you can sort of make your cup holder space as big or as small as you want. So just don't lose those, because I'm sure that would be easy to do. Now, here in the middle seat, you do have your ski pass-through, which is very easy to access anything in the boot, which is good when you have, say, 4 people traveling on a road trip. You can grab things or put things in through the second row, which is pretty good. And it's one of my favorite things that you get on these Volkswagens. And then if you do need to put car seats in the back, there's easy to access ISOFIX points as well. But again, there's more removable pieces, which you're probably gonna lose if they go missing. So here's the thing, the CityLife is designed to be an urban SUV. That's basically the whole appeal of this thing. It was meant to be well equipped, and so that means you can jump into it at a low price and then sort of live with it in the city. But then the whole idea of me being at this launch for this car, it's a small launch, but it is a launch for this car here in Sydney, is that this thing is designed to also be, you know, good for longer trips, and it's also got some pretty good skills when it comes to going through corners. Now, what I mean by skills, well, it's a really planted car. I spent a lot of seat time in a T-Roc, like a lot. Spent many hours in one, and I actually really like that car. I actually haven't driven the T-Roc R, which is the one that every car enthusiast wants to drive, but you have to appreciate just how good this car is from a base level. So hitting up corners, even at low speeds, you don't have to change the car's dynamic all that much. You can just sort of head through a corner and it feels planted. These 17-inch wheels ride really nicely. And in terms of noise, you do get that hum of that turbocharged 4-cylinder under the bonnet, but you get peak power at 1500 RPM, like I mentioned. So that means we're getting peak torque right now at just over 1500 RPM, and you can feel that. That means you can sort of squeeze on the throttle, and then when you do, the gearbox is quick to jump down into a lower gear to get you up to speed. Now, when you jump into this car, you just hit this into drive and away you go. But you can go into a sport mode, just like in every other Volkswagen, by pulling down on the shifter here, and it will just give you a more dynamic gearbox tune. And then if you really want to, you can whack into manual mode and change gears with your own fingers using the paddle shifters here. Now, here's the thing, these paddle shifters are fine, but then if you hold gears for too long, so if you go and slow down, for example, and I'm going to accelerate, I'm not going to change gears, the car will do it for you. Now, I've been averaging around 8.5 liters per 100 Ks in this car, and that's been quite heavy on the accelerator. I've been testing how responsive this little 4-cylinder is, and it actually is pretty good. So if I go and decelerate, for example, I'm just in normal drive, and I go to put my foot on the accelerator from 60 to 80 kilometers an hour in 3, 2, 1. It's pretty good. It's got good pickup and it doesn't feel wheezy. That's the thing with these cars at this price point and with this sort of equipment. You're looking at a sort of wheezy, naturally aspirated motor, but you don't really get that here. Now, steering feel is a little bit vague. Of course, this isn't a driver's car in that way, but it does feel, you know, like a fun little SUV to throw around. I really do like. It does feel premium. It doesn't feel too cheap in here, and it's mainly due to the cabin isolation that this car has from the outside world. I'm not really hearing too much road noise. You're hearing a little bit of it, and these materials in here means that I'm getting like no squeaks or rattles in here at all. But this is a brand new car, but Volkswagens are known to have decent build quality over, say, a competitor at this price point, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's just like a really comfortable car. So yeah, the T-Roc is one of the best value little Volkswagens you can buy. And to be honest, if you're asking me personally which I would buy out of all the small SUVs you can buy, I would definitely consider a T-Roc because I really like the build quality of it. I like how it drives. It's really well insulated, and it's actually a really comfortable car to live with. And it's actually, yes, very practical. And now with this CityLife model at $36,990 drive away, it's really hard to beat in terms of value that you're getting. You can get cheaper cars, but you're not really getting all the features and functionality that you get with a T-Roc. So it is a really strong competitor in this lineup, and it's probably one of my top small SUV picks. Now, thank you so much for watching. My name's Cameron. This is Product Review Cars. If you want to see more base model cars here on this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. If you want to see more behind the scenes content, follow us on Instagram and TikTok using the handle at Product Review Cars. Make sure you review your own car on productreview.com.au, and I'll see you in the next one.